All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to lesson 1-6, and that is multiplying integers. So before we get into multiplying integers, we first need to remind ourselves what an integer is. Now, an integer is any whole number and its opposite. So the whole numbers are the counting numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. And their opposites are -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, etc. So those are the kinds of numbers that we're going to be working with here in lesson 1-6. So when we think about multiplying integers, there are two rules that we have to follow, and I've put them up in that box on the top. So the first rule is that if the two numbers being multiplied have the same sign, then your answer will be positive. So let's write that out in kind of a picture. So if we have a positive times a positive, we're going to have a positive. If we have a negative times a negative, then we're also going to have a positive. So that's the first rule there. If we look at the second rule, it says if the two numbers being multiplied have different signs, then your answer will be negative. So if we have a positive times a negative, our answer is negative. If we have a negative times a positive, then our answer is also negative. So now that we know the rules, let's do a few problems. So if we had, see if I can change my color here, -3 times 4. Okay, I know my answer is going to be negative because that follows with this rule here. A negative times a positive equals a negative. And then I just multiply the numbers. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, if we had -5 times -10, I look up and try to remember my rule. So here it is here. A negative times a negative gives me a positive. So my answer is going to be positive. I don't have to put a positive sign here, but if you really want to, you go right ahead. So my answer is going to be positive, and 5 times 10 is 50. Okay, next rule. If we had a 7 times -3. Okay, they have different signs. We have a +7 and a -3, so my answer is going to be negative, and 7 times 3 is 21. All right, last set we'll do a 2 times 8 equals 16. They're both positive, so my answer is positive. So remember, integer is any whole number and its opposite, and the rules are up here as follows. If the two numbers being multiplied have the same sign, so we can shorten that, same sign, positive. If they have a different sign, then it's going to be negative. All right, that's all I got for you. Hopefully you do well on your quiz.